Hi, this is Baxter, and I will be teaching you how to solve the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. The first thing you're going to want to do is scramble it. So you take it and you just mix it up. Go, turn it any way you can. And I'm sure everyone is capable of doing this, but if you are not, ask another family member to help you. There's a scramble. When you look at this cube, you go, oh Lord, look at how many colors this thing has, and they're all over the place. There's no way that I could solve this. But in this next few minutes, you will have a solved Rubik's Cube in your hand. So, first thing you're going to want to do is you have to solve this the bottom cross, right here. So, I usually start with the white or the yellow side, but today we'll be starting with the white, just so that you can learn how to solve it. So first up, you need to look for a piece that has white here or here. And so if we look on the cube, there's one right here. And it has the orange color on it. So because it has orange on it, it needs to go above the orange center. So we need the orange piece to match up with the orange center, and the white piece to match up with the white center. So we can bring it down to match up with the orange and scoot it up to match up with the white. And there is one of the 4 pieces of our cross. Because this has an orange center, this side is going to be orange. Because this has a white center, this side is going to be white. Because you cannot, no matter what you do, you can't move this center. You can move it. You can't change its position on the cube like you can in the corners and the edges. So, finishing the cross, we need to find another white edge piece. So, here's one. It's got green on it as well. So, it needs to go above the green center. So we can take this, and it needs to go, because it's got green on it, it needs to go here, exactly on the cube. So how can we get it there? Well, because we can just bring this up to get it into a slot, we can turn it to its slot, bring up the edge, and turn it back. There's our 2 edges. Ah! Hi, kitty cat. Hello. So now we have half of the cross done. We need to keep looking on the cube for another white edge piece. We look. Here's one. It's got white and blue on it. So now it's on the bottom face of the cube. It's completely opposite of the top cross. So first up, it needs to, since it's got blue and white on it, it needs to go next to the blue center, because this is the blue side. So we take this edge piece, and we need to match up the blue piece with the blue center. And all we can do is we can turn it to match up. And then the really cool thing is that we can turn this 180 degrees to match up with its cross piece. Because it was matched up with the center, we can flip it around to match up and finish the cross. Now, we look for the last edge piece, and here it is. And cool enough, it's already matched up with its center. So it's already matched up here, so all we have to do is bring it up. There is your top cross. Now we have our top cross done. Now we need to go and we need to finish the entire white side. So we solve the corners. So we need to solve the corners. But we have to solve them correctly. As you can see right here, this corner is not correct. Okay. Alright, before we continue solving the bottom layer, we have to learn something called notation. That's a fancy way of saying how to move the cube. This is the front face. This is the back face. The right face, left face, top or up face, bottom or down face. So now when I say move the right layer right, you take the right side and you move it clockwise as if you were facing it. So that means if I say front, you move the front layer clockwise. Back would mean if you were facing it, move the back layer clockwise. Left, clockwise. I think you get the idea. Now, if I say take the cube and move it right inverted, that means you take the right side and move it counterclockwise. Front inverted, front face counterclockwise. Back face counterclockwise. Back inverted. Left inverted counterclockwise. I think you get the idea. Now that you know notation, I can go on to finishing the whole top. You can continue finishing the top layer. So now you need to look for a corner piece that has white on it. Here's one. Now it's got blue and red on it as well, so it needs to go between the blue and red sides. So it needs to go right here. There is a certain algorithm you can use to insert corner pieces into the places they need to go. Here is the algorithm. Right inverted, counterclockwise. Down inverted, counterclockwise. Right, down. Now that you have kicked out this piece, because that's what you needed to do, to kick it out of this slot, because it needs to go here. Whenever you insert a corner piece, it needs to go underneath the slot that it needs to go. So then you do the same algorithm to insert the piece. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Repeat it until the corner piece is inserted correctly. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down, right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. There is our correct corner piece. Now you need to find another one. Well, here's one right here. It's got blue and orange on it. So it needs to go between the blue and the orange centers, right here. So we take it, we put it underneath where it needs to go, and we do the same algorithm. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down, 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 right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Keep looking on the cube for corner pieces, like this one, it's green and orange. It needs to go right here, and you continue the same process using right inverted, down inverted, right, down, until you have solved the entire top layer. Look for the other one, this one, keep running down, continue until you have solved the entire top layer. Now that we have solved the top layer, we can move on to solve the middle layer edges. For this, we're going to need to flip the cube upside down. So now your solved layer is on the bottom. To solve these edges, you have to use another algorithm. Yes, I know. It's going to take a while to memorize these. You aren't going to be able to do this whole cube memorized right after this video. It's going to take some time. So find an edge that needs to go somewhere in here. So for instance, it could be a red-green edge, a green-orange edge, a blue-red edge, or an orange-blue edge. So here's one. It's blue and red. it needs to go right here. So, for this, you need to look at the top color on this piece. For this case, it's blue. So it needs to go this way. It needs to go counterclockwise to be inserted correctly. So we take it and we do this algorithm. Up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, in front, up inverted, front inverted. That solved the edge. Let's look for another one. Here's one right here. It needs to go right here. Now for this case, we need to match it up over the centers that match. It needs to go clockwise. So there's a different algorithm for this one. It is up, right, up inverted, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, up, front. And that solved the edge. So you can continue looking on the cube and using the algorithm depending on which way it needs to go. Counterclockwise, once again right here, is up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. And clockwise is up, right, up inverted, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, up, front. And there's your middle layer. Now that we have finished the middle layer, we need to go on and solve the top cross. Just like we did the bottom cross, we have to solve the top cross. So we take the cube, and you want to face an unsolved edge. Now, the edges don't have to be matched up with their center yet, but all you need to do is get the top cross. You want to face an unsolved one and have an unsolved edge on the right or the back, because sometimes there'll be a line instead of an angle piece. So you take the cube and you do a very easy algorithm that you'll memorize quickly. Front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. Now for this case, you have to do it twice to get the top cross. So we'll do it again. Front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. There is our top cross. Now that you have your top cross done, you need to go on and orient the edges correctly. So try to put as many as you can that are correct. So I've got one here, and if I turn the cube, I can get two. You're going to try to get at least two edges. Now, if you have all of them oriented correctly, you got lucky, and you can skip this part of the video for now. I would seriously, you do need to have this memorized, though, by the end of the video. So, take your edges that are solved. If you've got two, you're going to want them to put them on the right face and the back face. Now, if you've only got one, just take it and face it. And you'll have to do the algorithm at least twice. So take this algorithm. If you've got two, put it on the right and the back face and do this algorithm. Right, up, right inverted, up, right, up, two, right inverted. And you have to turn it again to solve all the edges. So all these are matched up. Now that you have correctly oriented the edges, you have to go on to the corners, just like you did the bottom. So now, look for a corner that is in the right place. It doesn't have to be turned correctly, but it's in the right place. And in this case, we have this one. It's not turned correctly where the yellow is on top, but it is in the right place. So, we're going to take this and we do this algorithm. We do up, right, up inverted, left, up, right inverted, up inverted, left. And that solved these two corners, luckily. And now all the corners are in the right place. You should never have to do this algorithm more than twice. So when you have the corners in the right place, you repeat that algorithm until you have all of them in the right place. They don't have to be solved, but just in the right place. Now that you have all the corners in the correct place, you can go on to turning the corners, solving them, and solving the rest of the cube. So now face any of the unsolved corners and put it on right here in front of you. And what's really cool is you get to do the same algorithm you did to insert them on the bottom. You do right inverted, down inverted, right, down, right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Continue doing that until you solve the corner. Now, it's going to look like you're completely scrambling up the cube, but don't worry. Just trust me, it'll all work out in the end. Turn the cube again. Now, make sure that when you have a corner done, you don't turn the cube to do the next one. You need to make sure you just turn the top layer to face the next corner. And you do the same algorithm. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Just turn the top layer and continue. Continue doing this algorithm until you have the whole cube solved. Right inverted, down. Right inverted, down. Right, down. Continue. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Inverted, down inverted, right, down. Right inverted, down inverted, right, down. And now, all you gotta do is turn one last turn, and you have solved the entire Rubik's Cube. Now, I would seriously recommend writing down all those algorithms to help you memorize, instead of continually watching this video over and over and over and over again. I would recommend writing down all the algorithms I showed you. Now, one that you might have memorized already is right inverted, down inverted, right, down. That's okay. You might not have to write down that one, but I would seriously recommend writing down all the algorithms and practicing often to help you memorize. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned a lot of how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Show your friends, amaze them, and help you enjoy solving the Rubik's Cube.